designed and built the whole thing ourselves. We challenge ourselves a lot to like reduce weight and reduce cost and push ourselves to see how efficient we can make it. We were also thinking about how we're going to move it. And we always had this idea that we're going to potentially move it up to Portland after we're done in Tucson. So we knew it was going to take a long journey, and we wanted it to be really roadworthy.
I'm Kate.
Hi, my name is Brad. This is our tiny house on wheels. Our tiny home on wheels is 17 feet long, 8.5 feet wide, and a little over 12 feet tall.
And we've lived in the tiny house for a little over 4 years.
We've built a deck on 2 sides of the house. We use this front space here as a little outdoor bar. We have a light there and an electrical outlet. We always talk about making margaritas out there, but we often cook out there in the summer when it's kind of hot out, and we can bring our stovetop outside and use it as a prep and cook space.
We took a long time to deliberate over our siding, but we had a really strong idea of what we wanted the outdoor aesthetic to be of our home. We ended up choosing some lightweight metal to sort of go along with keeping the tiny house really lightweight. And then we got to experiment with Shusugi Bon, burning these panels, and that was really kind of fun to play with fire a little bit too.
While we're looking at the outside of the house, I'd like to show you a few things around back that I think are highlights of this build. So here's our outdoor shower. We'll use this in the summer months. And then this is a back storage closet that we have. And all the tools that we use for the build end up in here. It's also a utility closet, so we have a hot water heater back here, our electrical fuse panel. We even have a router back here for our own Wi-Fi.
Yeah, welcome inside our tiny house. So this is what we like to call the BK Lounge. Some of the goals for this space was to really make it feel airy, bright, open. We really focused on keeping sort of this square concept instead of accentuating the rectangular shape of the trailer. Also, we really wanted to have a high ceiling, good light. Behind me is the kitchen, so I'm just going to show you some features over here. First of all, we wanted there to be a really large sink because we don't have a dishwasher in this space. We also cut out the countertop to keep the pieces as cutting boards. So we have this cutting board in here. We also have another cutting board over here if we want to turn this entirely into prep space and close that up. And then we decided to use foot pedals for our sink to conserve water whenever we're washing dishes. So we have the cold here, the hot here, and we've just loved the functionality of this sink. Another main goal of the kitchen space was just lots of storage. Even though we live in a tiny house, we actually do a lot of our own food prep. So we make our own kombucha, we dehydrate vegetables from the garden, we like to cook a lot, so lots of storage in here, lots of nooks and crannies to hide things. I'll start over on this side. First of all, we wanted there to be hidden storage, but also functional space above it. So we actually end up storing a lot of things on top of our cabinets. But then also inside here, we call this our pantry. Some people might not consider this a pantry, but we can actually just fit so much in here. It was also important to us to have not a cat that jumps on our countertops, to have an apartment-sized fridge. Again, just with food prep and making a lot of food in this space, we just wanted to have good storage. So that's how we sort of determined to do this design with the wraparound around the fridge. This was a really fun shelf to build. Really tight space, had to use literally tiny tools to put the hardware in, but it's just perfect for spices, extra mugs, things like that. A lot of our baking and cooking items go in here. Also just tons of storage under our sink. So this is where we keep most of our cleaning supplies. We have our trash and recycle. It's just been really functional for our use. And then you'll see here we have our cat door actually. So we take out one of the kitchen drawers so that our cat Ludo can go in and out of the house. But then when we want to keep him from going out, we just stick the drawer back in there. Another really nice large drawer here. During the pandemic, when we were doing large grocery runs, we realized truly just how much storage we have in this tiny house and how much we could squirrel away. So get ready, you're gonna see lots of different storage items. Under here is a little toe kick drawer where we just keep some important files hidden away. We liked the open storage as well, not having all of it be closed, because that really keeps the space feeling open and airy. Again, one of our goals. We also like showing off handmade ceramic. So we have a friend in Tucson who's a ceramicist, and she's the one who made these little shot glasses and this carved mug. So it's an opportunity too to show off some of those handmade items that are more sentimental to us as well. We have an Origo stovetop and oven here, and we actually kept the stovetop detached so that we can take it outside to cook on nice warm days here in Portland, which has just been a big game changer. It's really nice having that versatility. Having a little oven as well is really nice. And this Origo stove and oven is actually designed for use on sailboats. So it's 100% stainless steel, and it runs off of denatured alcohol. There's little canisters inside that you fill up. And that's one of the ways in which we've been able to stay off propane in this house. So we don't use any propane. It's just electrical for the energy, and then the denatured alcohol for the stove and the oven.
We've been together for 13 years now, and we've been married for 7. The tiny house was definitely an evolution of both of our goals, and we were living in San Francisco. We're just faced with really high rent and high cost of living, and we started exploring some other options, and this one was really appealing to us. And we've I don't want to say minimalist, but we are good at living a reduced lifestyle.
We had already uprooted our lives so many times sort of at that point, just minimizing our possessions. It just felt kind of like a natural transition. But also we were chatting about this, how did it start? I had a high school English teacher that I just adored, and she had posted that she had gone to see a cinema Tiny when it was released, and we're like, oh, it's just came out on Netflix, let's watch it. And of course then we were just smitten with the idea, both of us just at the same time. It just aligned for us both immediately. And then after that, it was just scheming for the next couple of years.
We built in Tucson, Arizona. We had just an amazing experience with the build, and so many great people helped us with it. We were renting a little guest unit at a friend's house, and then right next door, we were able to build the tiny house out right there. And they had a workshop, a ton of tools. Just on top of all that, they helped us so much on the build. And I'm just going through photos recently of it. Every photo has a different person in there helping us on it, and it's just so cool. They were also a contractor, and so he was able to help me with plumbing, electrical, and all the the heavy hitters on the project. But yeah, it's such a rewarding process to build it and see a little more happen each weekend. And you spend the week researching the new thing and getting supplies, and then just getting after it on the weekend.
We both worked full-time, and it took us about a year and 8 months altogether. We had a tremendous amount of help, which was really necessary, because as you can imagine, when you're squeezing it in, every spare second of your time, it can be a big lift. We felt so supported.
We were in this really nice neighborhood, and everyone just takes walks around it, and we were 10 feet from the street. So every weekend, people are just walking through, seeing the progress, chatting us up, and offering to help sometimes.
Yeah, can I paint? Will you call me when you're painting? I can paint. Over here, we have some additional prep space for the kitchen. It's also a multi-use space. We can use it as a desk, etc., but it's really useful so that 2 people can help prep dinner, be working in the kitchen at the same time. You can pull a cutting board over here and just have that additional space. So we decided to use a built-in space for our TV and just some other miscellaneous items. We wanted to have a place to put our shoes and, just a nice place to put trinkets and make your home a little bit more personal. We don't have a lot of wall space where we can hang things, so this actually ends up being one of the only places that really houses some of our personal items in the tiny house. We also installed this chain above so that we could hang some plants and some other personal items from there as well. We went for a really minimalist design, but to make sure it still felt warm and cozy and like it was ours. One of our goals in the tiny house was also to create concealed spaces. So just past our media center over here, we actually have our bathroom with some extra storage above. So if you press on this, it's just a magnetized latch and it opens up the door to our wet bath just back here. So here in the bathroom, we wanted to keep things lightweight and really cleanable as well. So starting with the door over here, we used some lightweight 80/20 aluminum to build out the frame for the door. And then we used this corrugated plastic panels as one of our finishes in this space as well. And then cedar, which is naturally a water-resistant wood, for some of the, the nicer details in the bathroom. We actually installed a stainless steel shower pan so that the water can all drain into this space. It was, of course, as you can see, designed specifically to slot into this space. Also just a nice, lightweight, super cleanable material. We've just loved this shower. It's been really easy for us. And then we built this little grate to go over it, just so you could be level with the floor in the main house as you walked in. So over here, we have one of the curtains that closes, and we just made some leather straps. So we have one curtain that goes across this side and one curtain that goes across this side to make this a true wet bath experience over here. We decided to go with the exposed copper. We've really enjoyed the aesthetic of that. And then it was also a fun thing to build. Of course, our shower over here. It's nice to have the detachable nozzle. It's been good on like really rainy days, being able to clean our gear both outside with the outdoor shower, but if we needed to bring things in here too, it's a really functional space just for us, for our gear, for ourselves. We did decide to go with a composting toilet. So we have a composting toilet area over here with a urine diverter. And then over here, we have our tiny sink. So this actually just drains into the shower as well. So this was sort of just one of the inventions we came up with in the design of our tiny house. It's just a funnel, and it pops out, so it's really easy to clean.
Yeah, so this is where we do all of our activities in the tiny house. It's a very transformative space. We kind of talked about how we wanted to keep those proportions right to where we all could enjoy this area. You see we got the big L-shaped couch. This is a big storage unit. It's all built in. So we have these long drawers that all the clothes go in, and we each get one of those. And then this is a really versatile table that we built, custom for the space. It operates as an extra leg for the bed. When it's down, you can sit on it at the desk. You can also put it over here. Use it as a little table, a side table for the couch. That's a fun piece. And then, yeah, below the rug here, there's two big bays that open up, and they're big storage areas that's kind of built into the floor framing of the structure. On this wall here, not only is there a concealed door for the bathroom, there's also a concealed Murphy bed. And let me show you how that opens up. So first thing, you take these long pillows off. And then there's the secret latch up here for safety, but it doesn't fall down until you pull it down. Kind of a DIY Murphy bed system with some big boat swivels and some hinges or some hydraulic struts to ease in the lifting and lowering of the bed. But it's a full-size bed. It exposes all this extra storage space behind the bed whenever it's down. This is good for hanging storage in the back closet. We keep some sleeping bags tucked up in the top. It's still vaulted up there, so we have a lot of space. And then we have hats on display. And then we each have our own nightstands. So with a built-in reading light, and then we customize it with our own knickknacks on the sides. And then the top shelf is just for book storage and a dehumidifier. For our house maybe specifically, but I'm sure this happens with all couples in tiny houses, is you learn so much about each other, but then you also learn that you need to be like on the same schedule kind of with things. So
especially in this tiny house.
Yeah, I mean with a Murphy bed, we're getting up at the same time, we're going to bed at the same time, and that's what makes this lifestyle work so well for us, is we're on the same schedule. I think that's a big takeaway and something to consider if you're, getting ready to take on a project like this with a partner.
Yeah, especially if you're thinking of building a tiny house without a loft. We love the Murphy bed and we love the scale it creates in this home too. Like, if you need that separation of space at all, then that's just an important consideration. Like, I could see how a loft could be really handy if you have different schedules or, you both need to work from home.
I think we kind of calculate everything to come out to around $23,000. Started February 2017 and we finished, about midway through 2018. I think the costs have gone up significantly since then. I feel fortunate to have done it that time.
And we were able to be pretty choosy. Like, we got some FSC certified wood and formaldehyde free. Like, we were able to be choosy. We used a lot of plywood in here. That could be prohibitive, to make those more conscientious choices too about having a lower VOC home. So we do feel really fortunate that we were able to build, keep to our budget, and still choose materials that also aligned with our values and goals for the home.
Yeah, it's so nice when you only are building such a small space because you really get to prioritize the materials you pick and kind of go a little higher end on things. And one thing we did on the whole outside was we did metal siding, and it's gonna be such a durable finish, and it came pre-finished, and it's maintenance free. And I always feel like it's going to help this house last a long time.
Think about, do you want this as a short-term living solution or a long-term living solution, and really give that a lot of consideration. Our lives are changing right now. We're expecting, and we're really excited about that. But when we designed and built our tiny house, we kind of thought that wasn't in our future. And so that's why we kept scaling it back and saying what do we need? Just the two of us. And we didn't think about the potential of this being a flexible space if our lives changed. It's just a really precise build, so there's not a lot of room to change it or adapt it.
We're transitioning out of it, and we would love it to get another life and for someone to be able to call it home. So we're looking to find the next owner for the house, actually. I think it'll be really tough to see it go, but something we're super proud of and just put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into, but I know it has a lot of potential left in it and a lot of life left in it, so.
It's really bittersweet. We've talked about it, but it is really like giving up a child or something, which is dramatic sounding, but you put so much time and energy and love into a space like this when you build your own home, and it's our brainchild. Like, we got to dream this space up and then make it a reality.
Thanks for stopping by Tiny House Expedition. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Christian, and this is our DIY tiny house on our homestead in Oregon.
Looking for more tiny inspiration? Watch these videos. But if you're looking for something specific, visit our channel homepage to browse tiny homes by category.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Hope to see you soon.